kid with a French last name, Monceaux or something like that.
Misfit, what we eating tonight?
Star Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's talk about Star Pizza.
Hey, y'all, this is Ryan Monceaux, and this is Cat's the Cougar After Thoughts Show. That's Galen. That's Brad. Here we are. Adequate.
You look like you
Back
got
to you.
something evil on your mind.
Me, man, it's just that's why nobody ever has a perfect bracket. You just never know in this tournament. And I'm saying, like, whenever you show up to a game and it's a 1 seed versus a 16 seed, remember Coach Sims used to always say, a team that when you play them and it's a team you should beat, you hope you can win, and then you hang around long enough, you think you can win, and you keep hanging around, and then you believe you can win. And these guys going into halftime, they knew they had no choice, no shot at winning. So when you're in a game like that, you got to make it clear from the start, y'all are not winning this game. And I felt like we had the right mindset going into this matchup, and we handled the business the way we should have, for sure.
100%.
They took the stats away from me. 78-40 is what it ended.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Let me go to the CBS one.
LJ with 15, Milos Uzan with 16, and my boy Xavier Francis.
Yeah.
13.
Who was that?
9.
In 15 minutes.
Yeah.
In 15 minutes. That's a lot of production.
There was a point in the first half where he was simply just killing it. And JoJo had to be like, God damn it, I don't even have 2 fouls. Let me play. Please. Let me go in.
It's like I got all sweaty for this. Come on.
Yeah. Come on, coach. Malik, I think, had 9 rebounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody scored except for JoJo.
And
well, Mercy had 2 free throws.
true.
So that's,
Thank
I
God
know
for
you want
those.
to pile on for that poor kid, but he's going to shoot himself out of this eventually.
Oh, absolutely.
Eventually.
I have no concerns about him. I just feel for him because I can see he really wants that one to fall, just begging for it. Please go down.
Who do we match up with better, Georgia or Gonzaga? Galen, what do you think with all your Georgia knowledge?
Honestly, I think that we have mobile. Let's say I haven't looked at Georgia, but I'm sure they have positional size, being an SEC team. But if you're a back to the basket threat, we double the post, and if you're a pick and pop threat, we have mobile bigs.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really matter. I feel like our defensive versatility. That's why we've been able to have success, is because we can play different styles and adjust to different styles of basketball. So I don't know who we match up better with, because I feel like we're able to adapt to who we match up with, if that makes sense.
That's why this team is scary, is that there's no style that they don't match up well with. They don't match up well with Alabama, and Auburn was a hassle, but I think they match up pretty well with anybody in this tournament. That
You are stuck on them to being a bad matchup for Alabama.
You know, but I'm not, because that's November, and it was
literally
November and early December. The other times you played them, You know,
if Bama seemed low now, they'd be like, "Who the fuck?"
Yeah. When did y'all recruit him?
Yeah.
Where'd he come from? But you know, I don't put anything on those early games, and we have fans that do it. And if this Milos would have been here, we wouldn't have lost. Yeah, but you needed to lose those games.
Yeah.
You needed to wake up.
One of my brackets, I got us going through Bama and Auburn for the title.
How many brackets do you have?
I think 3, 4, maybe.
Okay. All right. I thought I did 2, one for each of our sites, and thought I did the exact same bracket. And then the first fucking game, Creighton Louisville, I did backwards. So I got it right once and didn't get it right the other time. Star Pizza. There is time for the happy hour. Tomorrow you can go get the buffet. Get the what are they? Wine specials today? Pasta specials? Treat yourself. $4 beers at happy hour. You deserve it. 3 locations in Katy, in Buffalo Heights, and Upper Kirby area. Get yourself some. Mike and Jennifer Pittman are in Wichita. I am not. Was supposed to be there. My flight got canceled yesterday morning. Shout out to United. They tell me, we have a flight for you. It's Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They canceled one flight the entire day yesterday going to Wichita. It was the one I was on. A lot of U of H fans were on that flight. LG's family was on it. So hopefully everybody got there. I looked at my options and was like, these aren't great.
No, we're gonna need everybody's help in here to like and subscribe and retweet all this stuff, so Ryan can take an Uber to Wichita on Sunday or Saturday.
That ain't a bad idea. An Uber. Why don't we look at some comments?
Man.
That was pretty good.
It's always good when you don't have to worry.
This is your 15th win in the tournament since Galen and those guys beat San Diego State. 15 wins in 7 tournaments. That is pretty good. What's good, fellas? Good to see the youngins get a sniff today.
Thanks.
Solid game. We can scout the next game. Francis was great. Culture doing work. And really loved the communication on both sides of the ball. Everyone knew the assignment and then some.
Of course they did.
And then, not the time for this, but Mercy and Jefferson are not shooters. My gosh, yes, they are. Both are elite shooters. This might not have worked out, and Mercy is on the worst streak I have ever seen.
I mean, Mercy. He's forcing
40.
He's forcing it. He's trying to wish it in, and it's just part of it. Just part of it. His time will come, and he might be 0 for 2025 so far, but there's still time. He'll get plenty. He'll get plenty in what first weekend of April. That's when San Antonio comes.
Around the 6th, 8th, I think, are the 2 games. Sort of second weekend.
If you bad shooters, that you're sadly mistaken.
I think that they're going to be fine.
Yeah. You don't shoot those types of shots if you're a bad shooter.
And you're not allowed to, frankly.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not allowed to. Like, just imagine if JoJo shot one of those. Not saying he's a bad, but it's like, shit, he would have get your ass out of here.
We're going to see if the internet works. They've got some shaky internet in the locker room. This is Juwan Roberts, allegedly. Can't see him. Juwan, are you there? There you go.
Yeah.
our GoCoogs intern, Joseph Duarte, is trying to help us out here with some locker room insights, but might not work because Jawan, you just can't see him, you can't hear him. So Duarte is going to be docked.
Frozen.
Yeah, we'll just remove him. Let's see if we can. Yeah, it's just frozen. Oh well.
Those locker
so-
rooms in those big arenas, they always have terrible connection.
Okay. And you just never know how that's going to work. And everybody down there is trying to get on the internet. So,
You know, watching that game, especially from the get go, I kind of stepped back and watched them and tried to see it from like a
Scouting team's perspective.
well, from like a non-involved party's perspective, just a casual fan. Like if you're not a fan of either team, and I look at them and I was like, that's exactly how a number one seed is supposed to look in the first round. You know, just thinking back to all the great teams you watched over time, you know, we get so narrow focus, and as fans who watch these guys day in, day out for years on end, you know, we get in the habit of not appreciating everything that they do and kind of looking for things of, you know, where they might be off or where they need to improve. But stepping back from a, you know, like I said, just seeing it for what they are as just a fan of basketball, it's like, damn, that team looked good.
And also, one thing Coach Sampson, he taught us is like, if you're going to take this away, you have to be willing to give certain things up. And there's just like a lot of times we may be giving this up when it's like, well, that was the game plan. You know, so it's just like it's you just never know going from game to game what we may be willing to give up, because it changes based on who you're playing and it changes based on personnel.
When in the thing that we've talked about, you know, going back months now, is what makes this team different than teams we might have had in the past is that there's legit 4 different angles that we can attack that they have to try to stop. If you take one away, you've got 3 others to deal with. So you're going to have to who are you going to stop?
Yeah.
You know, are you going to try to take away LJ because we got 3 others ready to fill in? And we could do it different ways. We could do it with the scoring point guard. We could do it with a bomber from 40 feet. We can do it inside with J1. You know, you've got to your hands are
full. Your hands are full.
I mean, if you're going to defend against this team, you got to pick your poison and just hope that everything else is off, because they're going to hit you with everything that they got.
And it was also a couple of ATOs that I recognized. ATOs are plays that you run after timeouts that I saw Coach run that we ran. And it's like, he's doing this because of what lies ahead, you know, like, and it's just, they executed all of them well, but it's just those ATOs, that's like special teams. And we have a lot of ATOs that you have to stop. And that is hell to prepare for if you're an opposing team. Because
when you're in this program, approximately how many of those ATO plays did y'all have that you could potentially run?
Since it's ATOs, like, it'll
obviously you have a couple for each game.
Right? It depends on well, we practice all of them, but if it's an ATO, he gets a chance to draw it up and kind of refresh you, but we know how to execute it. So at any given time, he has minimum 10, depending on where you are on a basketball court, whether you're under the rim, taking out on baseline, or sideline out of bounds. That's a lot to prepare for. And it's just, we have a package of plays depending on how you're guarding. So there's guaranteed there's going to be guaranteed, 8 timeouts throughout the course of a game, all the medias. So it's like that could be 16, at minimum 16 points. That can very much determine the swing of a game.
Mm-hmm.
The tournament is so good because it allows small schools to have a chance. Sometimes that doesn't work. And for Clemson, I'm sorry, small school. They did score over 10 points in that first half, which you got to be happy with as a Clemson fan. 31-13 McNeese at the half. BYU is down 15-14 right now. It's early. Auburn was in a 32-31 game with Alabama State, and they've gone on a 18-4 run through the half, and so that's over. Milos, everybody's talking about NBA. I don't know. He missed a shot today, and I just don't think you can go to the NBA having missed a shot. He was 6 of 7, 2 for 2 from the line. Just an awesome game. 23 minutes, probably the lowest he's played all year. I just don't remember even non-conference him playing that little. But you got out of there. Emmanuel came out with 8:38 to play. And so you played the last 8.5 minutes with backups. And that's exactly what you needed. Everybody is healthy going into the second round. And Gonzaga and Georgia will play in just a bit. I think their tip time is 3:35. Yeah. So we'll get a view of that. Who is your player of the game? Who showed you the most today?
I'd say Javier was probably
You're correct.
His effort, and he had some post moves that looked very seasoned, and it's just like, because I'm around the program, that's what I see from him in the summertime. And I don't think people realize is these kids have real game. Like, they are actually very good at the game of basketball, and they can more than likely usually do more than our program allows them to. It's just the fact that they have to fit into a system. So he was able to bring out some of those post moves, and they look real crisp, real confident. And his energy and how he was affecting the game in a multitude of ways, to me, that's my player of the game.
He talked about this before the season, about how he wanted to be more aggressive. And then he hurt the groin, and it kind of derailed that for the first 8 weeks of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But he has come on in the last half of Big 12 play and been crazy aggressive, playing within himself. But, I mean, he has done so much for this team. That slam he had in the first half was which is clearly why the rims weren't working in the second half, because he messed them up. Go ahead, Brad.
I think the thing that I liked from him the most, he was really, really good on the trap.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting his hands there, and he was sealing it really well and not letting any room to be able to split the trap. And now if you're not closing it off tight, then it's easy for somebody to split the trap, be able to get the pass out without any blockage. And then you take two guys out of the play immediately when that can happen. And he wasn't doing that. He was locking it down, whether it be at the top, rotating back quick. He just was so much better and moved a lot better, more instinctively, I think. It was just nice. It was nice to see, because that's going to be key for us going forward, is how he moves on the trap and get the ball stopped and get it back. And he did a great job of that today.
Yes. I would agree with Francis. Just really impressed with everything he's done and taken on the role that he's taken on.
And, he's going from a guy where I kind of cover my eyes whenever he shoots free throws, hoping just he gets close to the rim. To now, I don't even have to watch because I pretty much bacon it's good.
He's definitely turned into a solid free throw shooter.
I mean, his shot looks so much better.
Yes.
I mean, just his form and his rhythm at the line, he just looks.
But
He looks
also,
like he knows what he's doing.
above all, is his body language, and he believes
Right.
he can make it. So that helps everything else when you go to the line confident.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't disagree. Here come the Mercy comments. I love this team. There you go. Milos looks confident out there. Has Mercy made a field goal since conference started? No. Mercy and Cordell need minutes to get some rhythm. That's something that you just can't predict. This is certainly the most minutes Mercy's played. I think it's probably the most minutes Cordell's played, at least since non-conference. They're gonna get it there, and I don't think that's a massive issue here on March 20th, but we'll see. My McNeese grad dad is strutting like a peacock right now. Slow down. Let it happen.
I mean, it's just the fact that when you, let's say, Clemson being in the position that they're in, you're down that much to a team that they probably all felt was less than them. And it's like now it's now there may be a sense of panic that sets in. Meanwhile, that McNeese has gone from hoping they can win to thinking and now they believe they can win this game. So just like that's the interesting thing about March is matchups, and it's just sometimes when you're playing a team who you feel like you're better than, you may not show up with the mindset that you need.
All right, we're gonna try this again with.
Bro.
What up, bro?
I'm like, the game just got over, bro. Like, can I eat?
It's been 30 minutes. And no, you can't.
Nah, what's up, man?
What do you think about the game today?
I think we came out pretty strong, aggressive, knowing the game plan because they're a good offensive rebounding team. So I think at one point.
Oh shit!
This guy, I don't even think it's an internet issue. I think he's fucking with us. All right, Jawan.
Yeah. Another one bites the dust.
Yeah, these are the issues. See, this is really my only contribution going to Wichita would have been to get these interviews in a locker room. Well, they're not even working.
You've been freezing too.
Yeah, what I'm saying, I would have spent a couple of grand for that. Instead, I got $17 on United to use, and I'm very excited. Thank you, Galen. Appreciate that. So Cordell is pretty damn fast. Juwan, what do you think? Okay. I love that he's doing this thing right here in the picture. We should just leave him. Oh, there he went. I didn't do that. So that's not going to happen today. Maybe we can get it for Saturday. JoJo snoozed on a couple of backdoor cuts. JVR actually looked better. I mean,
wow,
come on now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
How many Big 12 wins do we see today? I think Tech will win. I don't know about Kansas.
I don't know about how many times do you find yourself saying that shit? I don't know about Kansas. That is crazy.
Every day of the last 2 years.
But
ever since you walked in the door.
I don't know, man.
We have had some arenas where you just could not get access. And this one's, I think, a little older, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is an important point. Mercy has looked pretty good on defense, though. 5 rebounds, a steal. That block, he came from the other baseline.
That was crazy.
And that effort is what gets him his minutes. And he was rebounding. That kid is going to get there. And if he's just shooting and jogging back on defense, that's one thing. But playing the way he does, he's going to keep getting those opportunities.
Well, and that's the most important thing from a fan standpoint. Just know that the kid is going to be able to score no matter what. But the biggest thing is he going to be able to play defense? And the fact that he keeps getting run out there tells me that he's doing better and playing defense. And you see it when he's on the court, because he's all over the place, which is great. Now, I think, and Galen, you can maybe tell me if I'm wrong, when you've been nothing but an offensive player and, defense is just kind of something that exists, to a player where defense has to come first, does that affect your offensive game for a while until you learn how to put it together?
I'd say it does, because one thing about when you're young is you haven't played that many roles yet. So Mercy, it's probably rare, if it ever happened, that he's probably rarely been the guy that's on the bench that may not play. And it's just like, I remember a coach told me, he's like, if you play long enough, you're going to be the star, sixth man, the guy that may not play, the guy who is the third, like you're going to be every person, So it's like, this is just, it's early in his career. And this has probably been the first time where defense and playing to this level of competition has been emphasized to him. And, I guess that's the beauty of our program, because that means that a guy who's a 4-star recruit can barely crack your rotation. That tells you where you are as a program, So, but he's going to figure it out. And also, you got to realize that guy's playing behind LJ Cryer. Let's not get this shit twisted. Let's not get this shit twisted at all.
Well, didn't he add another all-region and a third-team All-American?
Like literally, like you're behind a guy like that it's best if you're behind him. Don't even try to be the guy like that. You have no chance. No chance.
And you have to defend him every day.
Yeah, and it's just like
practice.
LJ has played so much. Like, just imagine, LJ was in the position that Mercy was in, going against the guards that gave us hell in the tournament. So you got Jared Butler and Davion Mitchell. Both of those guys played in the NBA, and those were the guys who LJ was behind. So just it's there's a hierarchy and there's a ladder that you got to climb to get to a certain level, and Mercy is definitely on his way.
Yep. And is LJ's step back one of the most dangerous you've seen in college this year?
So pure, because he doesn't jump that high, and it's just so like it's butter.
I mean, he clears so much space.
Yeah, but his one thing I've peeped about LJ is his change of direction. Like he's lightning quick. I don't know how fast he is, but he's lightning quick. So when he gets that step, he's able to generate so much space because you're still going in the opposite direction. And he already stepped back from you. Now it's count this 3 ball. Beautiful, man. Work of beauty.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's the same as, but Harden like.
Yeah, in terms of, but he fuck around might create more space than James Harden because he's so
and I think the thing that makes his, to me, the thing that makes his step back so deadly, other than he's just a great shooter, is he's got such a quick release. So
quick release, blazing.
By the time you react and reach, I mean, he's gone. The ball's already by you.
And he's always in a position to shoot because he's always on balance. And
right.
That just helps him get his shot off so much quicker as well. But Gonzaga, that's a good question. Who y'all got, Gonzaga or Georgia?
I don't have anybody. I just hope both teams have fun.
Roy, Towns, who you got, man?
What's that?
Who do you think is going to win out of Gonzaga?
He doesn't even listen. I'm listening.
I pick Gonzaga. I just think, I don't know. You know, the thing is that Georgia had one one day in the sun. And outside of that, they've been mediocre to good. I just don't think much
Okay.
of them.
Apparently.
I don't think a whole lot of Gonzaga either. I think they're good.
I would always want to face the coach that has less NCAA success. And Mark Few has as much as anybody's, in this bracket. So,
Coach Sam.
I mean, I don't.
well, that's
care
what I'm
who-
saying. You're
I
not
don't
going to
care who
face
we get.
Sampson.
I mean,
You're gonna face-
normally against Gonzaga, normally I would want Gonzaga because you're talking about a clash in style. Usually they're a high tempo, get up and down, and I think we can dismantle that and get them frustrated and get them getting teams forcing that. But I don't think Gonzaga plays as fast as they used to. I think they're more reliant on.
Not this team. No, they don't shoot the three very much. I think they're a good matchup. I think Georgia's probably a little better. How about the two Taylor cousins today, Rayshawn and Brian? Brian, if he'd have shot enough attempts, he would be one of the top 5 3-point shooters in the country. He was 0 for 4. Rayshawn, one of the better shooting guards he was 3 of 13. It turns out this team, when you give Kelvin Sampson a few days, he can shut you down. He'll be okay. He'll make it.
Yeah, and usually when you're playing smaller schools, if you can cut off those top 3 guys' water,
Mhm.
you usually give yourself a chance. But shit ain't easy. And that's why if you're looking at this McNeese and Clemson game, that's why the score is what it is. Because people probably thought that Clemson was going to roll over these kids. And they are down 16 points. That is fucking crazy.
A lot of people had McNeese as that trendy, 12-5 game. You're going to pick a lot of those 12s.
I feel like people might have had that because you have to pick an upset.
Okay, that's fair. But people respect Will Wade.
For sure. As rightfully as they better.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that on this show.
I don't think a lot of
we
people
can talk
respect
about it all
Clemson
day.
either.
I really liked them last year. I thought they were super athletic,
Well, it ain't
fun
last
to watch.
This year, too.
I understand.
This year too, the couple times that I watched them, I was impressed. Clemson. I thought they played hard.
I thought they played in a shit conference.
Well,
There
is that.
Playing hard precedes the conference that you play in, but I get what you mean, brother.
Gonzaga's up 6-0. Georgia may not score in this game. There's a graphic on the screen right now that showed all-time NCAA wins. Gonzaga has 39. Georgia has 0.
My goodness, Mark Few looked like he got real old in the last couple of years.
Well, he's been there 25 years, hasn't he?
Something like that.
I mean,
I always wonder what he was like like one of his practices. What are they like? Because he doesn't just come across as some like super like respectable guy. He just looks like Ryan. He looks like you. No offense.
It's a good point.
And that guy is running like a powerhouse. So it's like, what is it about him? Like, what is it about him that is just that grabbing? Well, actually, Ron, you look better than Mark Few.
Thank you. Out there. I do have, he's 15, 16 years older than me, but
he's not saying you have the same complexion. Okay.
Yeah. I can stand being in the sun a little. He can't.
Just look like he just looks like a non-threatening guy.
Yeah. He came along at a time when there was a huge opportunity on the West Coast. And you get your little private school, you get it going, and I mean he's turned. I remembered. I thought this week is 15 or 20 years ago, when they really had started getting this going, I bought a Gonzaga t-shirt online. And I don't know, it's been going 20 years, 15 years, but I mean, they were that good. I had a Grinnell College one too, when they were running for 150 points a game. Those were fun teams. I heard Will Wade was going to NC State. I switched my pick because I didn't think McNeese would be focused. So, Dre, I did the exact same thing. I was like, oh, he's out the door. And that's why no one will ever have a perfect bracket ever again. So, is Gonzaga BYU-ish? Well, they're up 11-0. I mean, that doesn't happen in the tournament, right? And they're nowhere close. They're a minute from the under 16 timeout. You might have only one opportunity here to get a team. I think it's. So what you're saying is that McNeese is going to maybe work this out. BYU's up 3 over VCU, and Gonzaga is now 13-0.
Greatest sporting event.
They're just going. When do they start the running clock?
I know college basketball gets caught up in talking about, everybody's got to have more and more and more NIL more. You're not going to be good unless you're great at NIL. You got to have more in NIL. You got to have the best players. You know who needs the best players? The shittiest coaches need the best players.
Great point.
Money and the poor ones.
Man. Money can't buy.
I mean, you gotta have some money. I mean, I think you've heard it talked about here at U of H, especially with I think they talked about it. Fran talked about it in the championship game. Is that Milo didn't come here for the top dollar. He didn't chase the most money.
No, he bet on
came
himself.
for the right. He came for the right reason, because he knew that this is a place, one, that he could win and that could develop him for the next level. So you need some NIL to be competitive. But when I see people talking about, X school doesn't, like Indiana doesn't have enough NIL, or Iowa doesn't have enough NIL, it's like, guys, what are you talking about? You got to pick the right people. You got to pick the right coach, and you got to pick the right players with the NIL money. Look at Kansas. They dumped what last year, $14 million.
I don't think like that. 14. Or no, I think it's $4
million last year.
Little different.
Counterpoint, but it's supportive. Look at McNeese. How much NIL do they have?
$600. This is the thing that I've been thinking about all week, is that you see these NBA assistants, like they fired the guy at Iona, and they're going to bring in an assistant. UT is thinking about assistants. These guys can't recruit, and it's that developing relationship with high school kids. You can't just rely on the portal and build a team every year, because the teams that recruit high school kids and develop them and build something are going to beat you. They're going to murder you, because your great NBA lineage is not going to overcome that. And U of H is in the perfect spot here. And it's so rare we get to say that. But U of H, they got the right head coach at the right time. And now you're going into an era where everybody's just going to hire these NBA assistants. That's fine. That's who you want to be facing. Do you think some NBA assistant knows more basketball than Kelvin Sampson? Knows how to develop players better than Kelvin? And I mean, I put Kellen in that too, because, at some point in the near future, he's taken over.
What I find funny is that you see these, the way the NBA is now. I think Kelvin got out of the NBA right at the right time before it went full insanity.
Yeah.
And Kelvin came back playing even more defense, and what he took offensively was a lot more a lot more structure on the pick and roll, and running that to perfection.
I mean, because you said something good. It's also like the pick and roll, but one thing that he became an expert at was the executing plays rather than running them, meaning that certain things have to happen at an exact time for the play to work, and also being able to pick on matchups. The NBA, once you get to the playoffs and once you get late in the season, it's all about matchups. So it's like adding, in a sense, going from college to the NBA and back to college, you added some ingredients to your gumbo because you saw basketball at a different level. And I also think that gave him an advantage on knowing how obviously college basketball is a lot different than NBA basketball, and he figured out how to steal possessions.
Right.
So it's going to the NBA. Obviously, it helped him tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
But he was able to add his own little bits and pieces to what works for him. But yeah, the matchups thing, that's NBA.
Very excited for BYU. Their guy Denham isn't playing that kind of defense today, and so he's got 11 points. Good for him.
Right.
Glad to see that he came out of his shell. This is kind of a weird day. You win a tournament game. I mean, it's basically like you played a non-conference bullshit team, and I mean, they won their conference, and good for them, but did not give you a lot to talk about going into that second round.
And you know what, Ryan? That's exactly what I wanted. Because Clemson might have a lot to talk about tonight.
They might.
Man, is this time
never know.
Year, you want to handle business as soon as you can. And your core guys, if you're able to get them rest while doing so, that is paramount.
Well, think about this. You went a stretch of 1 of 17 or something like that in the second half, and you won by 38.
Yeah, the only thing I was looking for, of course, the win, but I knew we'd get up 20 plus. The only thing I was looking for is for us to put them away as opposed to letting them hang around, anywhere from, 16 to 22. And,
is that hanging around?
The thing you can't do at any time if you want to win is you can't let teams have hope.
Yeah.
You can't. Now that's even more so in the tournament because it's one and done. So when you get a lead, you've got to pour it on until they legit give up.
I remember Coach Kellen. He used to say this. He was like, "You got to have the toughness to end someone's season." And just think, you're going against, like, early on in the tournament, you're going up against a bunch of guys who their dreams just came true. They just made it to the tournament. They're with a bunch of guys who they love and they've played with probably for multiple years. And you have to end that. And they don't want it to end. So, like, that is a tumultuous task. It's like you're going up against the best a team has to give. I mean, so it's that's never easy. Ending someone's season, sending them home, that is not an easy thing to do.
When the teams like that are going to come in, they're going to come in and play desperate. They're going to come in and play like they've got nothing to lose. They're not scared of you.
Nothing.
I mean, they're actually excited that they get a shot to possibly make history, that you're going to be talked about forever. All it takes is one game.
One game. I'll never forget Coach Kellen. I was like, damn, a light bulb is went on. You got to really, these guys' dreams just came true. You got to end their season.
Yeah, you got to break their heart, crush them. They were up 4-2, and they had to be feeling good. They were up 4-2, feeling pretty good about themselves.
And also that the first 4 points were dunks.
Dunks,
Their
right?
First 6 points
cut right by JoJo.
Yeah.
And then about a second later, it was 23-6.
Yeah.
You broke their hearts. You crushed them. You did what you had to do.
I got to
went in the
admit, I
locker
missed the
room.
first 10 minutes. 10 minutes in real time. For
Why?
some reason, I saw the time days ago that it was 2:00. Forgot it was 2:00 Eastern and not Central. And so I was watching other games. I was like, oh shit, we're playing. I think there was like 4 minutes into the game. Damn, what the hell?
Doing great, Brad. I kind of did something like that at halftime. I was switching other games. It was like, I completely forgot that there was a U of H game still. But that's just what you did. You put 52 on them in the first half and made sure that they didn't stick around. Georgia's now at 3 points. It's basically a game.
We went full Habitat for Humanity and started building houses in the second half.
Yeah, but the guys who are allowed to build houses, those were the guys in the game. Not a problem there.
Hey man, I'm just glad those guys got so much extended time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you never know, man. We might need those guys the next few weeks.
For sure.
Never know, man. Never know.
I mean, you'd like to just like you'd like to get Ryan Elvin out there to shoot a couple of shots. You never know that he's going to shoot a free throw that takes you to the Sweet 16. Still the craziest thing I've seen.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Right after the game, Kelvin was interviewed on TBS, and the woman that was interviewing him, her question was, where is the ceiling for this team? And at that point, I would the national title, I think that's the ceiling. I think that's a pretty easy question to answer.
I don't think they'll let us win 2 in 1 year.
All you can do is try, Towns. Make them tell you no. Yeah.
Efforting.
So very excited about today. They're reviewing a play for a flagrant where a Georgia player hit another Georgia player in the flag. It could have been flagrant.
I don't know if that might have been.
I mean, that's just the way you got to do it. Will Wade coaching his ass off.
We can't talk about anybody thinking someone graduated when J1's been here for 6 years. It's not our battle. We can't talk about that.
Yeah. It wasn't McNeese that checked out. It was the guy that just got a new 5-year deal. He might have spent way too much time on that contract negotiation this week and
crazy.
Not enough on the team from Ryan Street in Lake Charles. Galen, I asked the other guys about this. You have coaching aspirations?
Oh yeah, for sure. Keep it short and simple for sure. I feel like I'll be good in player development and eventually, actual coaching, whether that be assistant or head coach. But I feel like my greatest strength right now is player development.
So what does the job of player development entail?
What Q did for Milos, basically.
I tell you what, if you can do that, you'll find a job.
Yeah, but it's just all player development is just experience and reps. And it's like when I go back home and I train my kids in the summer, I give them stuff that I recognize in a professional game that I feel can help them. So you're getting real live feedback from what I know you're going to need going into a collegiate game. So, but player development is just knowing the game. And I feel like after being coached by Coach Kelvin Sampson and Coach Kellen Sampson, Coach Quanis, HP, KC, all those guys, how can you not learn the game being around those guys every day for 4 years straight?
Do you think it's part of player development, how you're talking about it, to focus on the psychological part of the game?
For sure.
Is that an assistant coach's job?
I mean, it's you have to when you've played, you know that a player goes through highs and lows, and you know when Q, let's say when Q got to Oklahoma, he had to figure shit out. So whenever Los got from Oklahoma to here, he probably knew exactly what he was feeling because he wanted to do well, but nobody was kind of there to kind of show him. So it's like, you know what your guys are going through. And I feel like personally, the greatest strength you can have as a coach is relatability. Because if I know what you're going through, I can help you get through it because I've been through it myself.
How do you what do you do with Mercy now? What is your development or your psychology with him at this moment where he is?
It's just reps because
That's it.
he's never going to be the type of guy that loses confidence in himself. He might be unsure of himself at certain times, but losing confidence, nah. So it's just reps. And then once he's able to have success in practice for a sustained period of time, while also, you know, LJ being gone, that's probably what is going to be when he takes that next step. But with Mercy, it's just reps. And then because Mercy, his shooting is going to get him on the floor. And then from once he's able to kind of establish that, then you want to expand with his, you know, ball handling and being able to get in the paint and, you know, assist, kind of like how we've seen LJ grow. So it'll be, once you're able to do this, then we can build on that.
Galen is the new Q. Easy.
Facts.
Slow down.
Yeah, slow down.
Brownell is at Clemson was the one last year complaining about how no one respects the ACC and that the Big 12 just gamed the net.
Oh yeah, well he's the dipshit that scheduled a 300+ non-conference schedule.
Well, how'd that work
I
out?
got 20 wins playing in the ACC. Congratulations. Everybody got 20 wins. It's like, man, I could get 20 wins if I played a wheelchair basketball league. And Cosmo Kramer was the greatest kung fu master.
Yahoo.com. Does Rodney Terry add any value to this staff?
What
No.
staff?
The U of H. No.
Shit, no.
Rodney Terry was a respected assistant for 20 plus years. But they're not bringing in an outsider. They're just not. You're going to promote from within. Everybody moves up a step, and that's how it's going to go. You don't
look. I mean, the dude was
bringing in
mediocre.
outsiders is the worst thing to do for a team like this.
He was mediocre to bad at Fresno State. For some reason, UTEP thought it was ideal to hire him, and he sucked at UTEP. And then he went on. He was actually a good assistant with Beard.
He was a good assistant for 10 years with Barnes at Texas. I mean, he was the number one guy. Maybe the bad guy, but he was what he was. He was also, I believe he was on staff for Dave Bliss at Baylor when they were skinning up cats. He may have been there before, but speaking of confidence, I thought Terrence was playing with better confidence today than I've seen in a while. Yes, the ball was going in, and I think that helped the confidence a good bit. I think he was 4 of 8 the last time I saw. So I think that's a really good sign for TA because you do need him off the bench. I don't know if he's your 6th man right now. I think Javier is probably that, maybe Malik. But you've got 8 guys who you feel pretty good about.
Yeah. I think Malik is definitely the first guard off the bench because what he's going to give you is steady. Whereas TR's, it might be one game it's a Herculean performance, and next game it's the opposite. So you're going to go, let alone this time of the year, you're going to go with what is the most steady because that's all you need this time of the year is just steady.
And you cannot replicate Malik when you're practicing for this team. You just can't. That guy doesn't exist. So, do you think Q takes anyone with him? Yeah, I think somebody. but you're
he's definitely
not talking about an on-court person. Maybe a GA, somebody that's off court, but you never know. I'm sure they know. I'm sure they've talked about it. So, what were you trying to say, Galen?
I mean, I hear you, but I think in terms of having an opportunity to spread your own wings, you might take somebody that you may not anticipate. That's all I'm saying.
Fair. I mean, everybody wants to move up, and they want to, make money. And going and being on staff is a lot more money than being a GA or the 8th development guy in a program. So, does he take Galen? Galen's got years to play. Well, months at least, but years to play.
Best believe Gonzaga has already been broken down.
Yeah, I'm sure Jamie is in Wichita right now, breaking them down. Going to have a live look here pretty soon from Jamie. He had SIUE. I'm so glad I don't have to say that anymore. SIUE finished, I think, Monday. Like, he was ready to go.
I was still trying to figure out if it was a real school.
It is a real school. They have a clip art logo, which Kelvin is really good against the clip art. Georgia has just scored to cut it to within 23 with 11 minutes to play in the first half.
I mean, hey, Georgia's going to make a run. Just a matter of how big it gets. Can Gonzaga shut it down?
We'll see.
Cut it to 20.
Your TV's a little faster than mine. I don't like that. Easy. We'll see. I think it's possible.
That's what I'm saying. It's just you just never know. Just never know.
I think Quantas is not a bad guy to hit yourself to. I think his career arc is going one way. And, you're still within the family going and working for him. But you saw it with McLean. I mean, he went and worked for Alvin for 2 years and got Kentucky. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, that works.
Yeah.
And didn't Brooks the third bring him?
Yeah, exactly. So there's a connection there. Yeah,
Connection, but I mean, you still got to get hired.
Yeah.
BYU's now up 11. I guess those are the only games really happening. Gonzaga big.
I feel like Coach Q is going to take the same formula that Coach Sampson has used because that's the only formula he knows. And
why would he do anything different?
Exactly. That's going to be the formula that he tries to replicate. And I know for sure he's going to bring his brother on staff because his brother is also good at what he does as well on the basketball court. So,
well, I think when you're especially a young assistant or a young, fresh head coach in your first opportunity, I think one of the most important things is to have a number two, at least, who you can trust implicitly. That you have no question, where their loyalties lie. They're not trying to undercut you because, I mean, there's a lot of assistants out there that will undercut you to get your job.
A lot of programs focus on hiring a number one assistant with a lot of experience, but that guy is not loyal. He's loyal to his career. And I believe, Brad, you're 100% right. You have to find somebody that you can trust and that you believe in. And Quantas has a lot of people on this staff, and from his work and recruiting and being out there, I'm sure he's got tons of relationships and will put a solid staff together. Yeah, I don't worry about his ability to find people in Louisiana. And he's already got 2 great recruits. He's got one from Florida. He's got one from here.
He just nailed
4-star.
He just nailed a 4-star. That have they
At
ever had
Lafayette.
one?
I don't know. But that's pretty good. Happy
See,
for
you know,
him.
the good thing for him going forward. Well, I mean, he comes over with relationships already. I mean, because you know this program is recruiting kids out of ninth grade. You know, they're identifying kids as they're coming up. So he knows the lay of the land, especially in Louisiana, of guys who are really, really, really good players or going to be really good players that wouldn't be a fit here.
Yeah.
But at Louisiana could be stars.
And he'll have time to develop them and potentially turn good players into great ones. So really happy for him.
Q has put, since he's been at Houston, he's put 2 PGs, not even including the other guard position. He's put 2 point guards in the NBA. And it's
And about to be a third.
Very well, maybe a third. That's a resume right there, brother.
And, you know, it could happen this
Excuse
year.
me,
Happen
3
next year.
guards. Marcus, Jamal, and
You said point guards originally. That's why you said you were going 2. But, yeah. You could hear this. Did anyone else see Kelvin say, "Mercy, you're 1 of 11, drive it"? They were praising Mercy on the broadcast for continuing to shoot and continue, as you heard Kelvin behind them screaming. That was kind of fun.
We were on a break. We were on a break and we didn't have numbers, but Mercy got over beside right beside Kelvin and shot it. I think it was maybe they had 2 back. We had 2 on the break, and he just shot it. Kelvin sat down. He's like, I can't watch this.
But that's the type of mentality you got to have.
Absolutely.
That's the type of mindset you got to have when you're in that's a confident kid, man. That's a confident kid.
And the thing is, you hit one, next thing you know, you hit another.
Yeah, it's a
and then another.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the body language picks up. Then you start feeling it. It's like, okay, I broke the seal. Let's go now.
Mm-hmm. Damn, it's already been an hour? Fuck. I ain't gonna lie. You got it.
Exactly.
What were you not going to lie about?
I love this show, man. I fucking love this show.
Why is that?
This is because it's some real shit. That's why I love it, Ryan. It's some real shit about real hoops.
You said I look like Mark Few. I'm not very happy about that.
When I said y'all look alike, it's more so that when
we're white guys. We're old white guys. Yeah. We all look the same to you.
Y'all are both like 5'9",
you got a pinkish
5'10". It's like you wouldn't expect a guy who looks like him to just run a powerhouse.
It's like you're kind of pinkish and you're not real sure if you're a ginger or not.
Do you know his base salary is only $1.8 million? That's wild. The guy that just went to Indiana, DeVries from West Virginia, which we'll see. His base salary is only like $2.8 million, which was surprising because Kelvin's is at 4.2, 4.3.
Well, I mean, DeVries has done fuck all.
Right. Well, I mean, he had some success, but nothing not at West Virginia. I'm saying in his career, he's had a little success. Nothing, frankly, that I think deserves the Indiana job, nor deserves a huge amount of money.
No, I think that's a perfect example of what Indiana is. That's where they are today.
I agree with that 100%.
I mean, Indiana is a
cute school now.
I mean, dead star.
He went 150 and 55 at Drake, but he never won a tournament game. He went 3 times.
Yeah.
But and then didn't get in this year, which conspiracists would say that was planned so he could go and take that Indiana job. Gonzaga has just stopped scoring. I don't know why they decided this was the time. What's the McNeese score over there, Galen?
It's 51-29. Oh my God.
So they're keeping them at arm's length. This is a good point. Francis has been playing like every game is his last. He's been doing it since well into the regular season coming out. He's just playing with a confidence and an aggression that you would not typically. Towns, I don't know what this means.
What?
But share some planet. Do you not see the screen? Are you not?
Towns locked into these damn games. That's why.
I was flipping on the wrong tab.
Oh.
I've got like 20 tabs open with.
Well, that's a you problem.
Man.
Tell some Planet Hollywood stories.
Man, I didn't go to Planet Hollywood. What the hell?
Yeah. Hard Rock Cafe maybe was more his time period.
Not even that, man. I mean, I guess.
Why are we talking about Planet Hollywood?
Hard Rock was more. I guess that's more recent. The one, didn't they have one downtown with a nice venue? I don't know. I was always too drunk. Planet Hollywood was here.
Yeah, it was at the Galleria. I don't know.
No, you want to talk
about Vegas?
Talk some wild shit. Let's talk about Gallant Night.
Terrence Arsenault played nice tonight, ladies and gentlemen. His offensive flow, he looked very confident. Proud of our team. Oh shit.
Okay, here we go. That's yes. I went there a number of times. I don't remember much from then. Probably good. Probably good that I don't remember.
I was so worried how that was about to go that I ejected.
See, I found that, when I stopped drinking, that my memory actually didn't completely go away.
It improved.
Yeah.
Right?
Neither did your waistline. You're the only person I've ever met that drinking kept the pounds off.
It did. It did.
Yeah. It's so weird. Usually it goes completely the other way.
Yep.
Not with you.
Oh, Ryan, you fucked up for that, bro.
But it's true.
But it's true.
It is 100% true.
It's one thing for it to be true, and there's another thing to say that shit. It's like, damn.
Oh, you can say that.
That's why I love this show, man. That's why I love this show.
There is nothing I say to him in real life that I don't say on this show, and I hope he's the same way with me because, damn.
Yeah.
But there you go. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? Do you
That's
have
the Brad right there?
Oh, I didn't realize that's what you were doing. I was so focused on you having like epilepsy or something that I didn't realize
the Brad.
Oh, not the Brad.
Do your hands like that again, Galen? Oh my God.
Brad. Yes, sir.
I never did have the mullet though.
Yeah, you weren't good enough for that. It's
by the looks of it, we're gonna have Gonzaga. That is gonna be a dog fight.
Mullet. That's where it's at.
I mean, I fully expect going through this tournament, if we were to go and do what
things people think, perhaps,
I would always expect the top seed.
Yeah. And
So I mean, that
you're
would
gonna
be
have to
what?
play some one possession games, some hard games. You're going to get Gonzaga and then Purdue, and then the 2 is what, Tennessee?
Tennessee, and then
Purdue in the Sweet 16.
Duke or Alabama.
Yeah.
And
Or
then
the
Auburn.
Lakers, whoever comes out of that region.
I mean, the thing is, if you're going to get your first one, you might as well get one against the very, very best, and then.
Well, that's the thing. If the very, very best lose, maybe not the very, very best. It's a 1-game season, Brad.
This is very much an underseeded team.
Whom?
Gonzaga.
Okay. Well, no, I agree with that. I mean, they've shown it all year.
No,
Their numbers.
There's a difference between like being underseeded and severely underseeded. Like,
I mean, they should be a 3.
points per game, they're
I
in
think.
second. Field goal percentage, third. Free throw percentage, sixth. Assist, they're first. Assist to turnover ratio, first. Look at that. That we're playing a team.
Show that again. I don't even know what I was looking at.
It's like basically their ranking. So like points scored, they're second in that. Points scored, points
That's
per
good
game.
TV.
Like,
Okay.
that's tough.
Here's the thing. Purdue is big. McNeese is not. Purdue doesn't beat you because they're better. They beat you because they can bully you. And
I don't know.
they've never had have a foul called on them.
Clemson coming back?
Well, that would change everything.
I mean, they're down
13 with
Yeah.
6 minutes to play.
That tells you how far the game has been out of reach if we're calling down 13 to come back.
Yep. Kentucky is the 3. Sorry. They beat. Yeah, I don't mind them beating the hell out of each other.
I wanted to talk about this.
What?
I can't imagine how Tremont Mark feels. C. Mills too, but Tremont first. Like, I feel sorry for the kid, man. I feel sorry for him.
You have to make the best decision for yourself in that moment. Hopefully he feels he made the best decision and doesn't look back.
That's the
with
thing
regret.
about moments, Ryan. There's moments don't last
You
forever.
can get them wrong. Yeah, you can get them wrong. I thought as close as he and Jamal were that he would not have left. When he did, I was very surprised. But, he's made some decisions, and I don't know if they've been great. But he played well yesterday. But, yeah, it was hard. It's difficult.
I fuck with Tremont. Still do, but
Can y'all share why did he leave? I mean, shots, money. He went to
all the things that weren't
Arkansas.
right.
Yeah, I mean, you would have liked to have had him versus Duke last year for sure. Coming down the stretch when JoJo got hurt, you would have loved to have had him. But we still won the Big 12 2 years in a row. I mean, it worked out for U of H. I don't know if it's the right thing for him, but it worked out.
But yeah, I think it did
Hope
work
he's
out.
doing well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing about where we are, if somebody wants out, there's a line to be replaced.
And the thing is that our guys who, especially the guys who play, who want out, other teams are going to flock to them because they know a guy coming from our program, he's going to be about all the right things. So in terms of how they play, but I just wish that he would have stayed. I felt like his trajectory was where it should have been, and there may have been certain people who wanted to rush the process and whatnot. But So it goes.
Man, the dudes on Clemson look like a freak show.
You seen a dude at the free throw line? He looks older than me.
What's that? What's up with that anvil haircut? Is that in style or something?
That is called a receding hairline. That is called a receding hairline. Aggressive recession.
Man.
God forgive me.
I mean, I don't think it's a haircut, Towns. I think that's just
you got to do what
happens.
Do. Yeah.
Just happy there's still some left.
Oh man,
comb that over. Yeah.
Damn. That's sad, man. Because it's like, you make decisions like what Tremont may have made. Who knows what could have been, or who was in his ear, putting certain things in his head and telling them this, telling them that. I don't know the full story.
Yeah.
But let's say that was the case. With him knowing the reality now, it's like, are you able to live with the decision that someone else potentially made for you instead of the decision that you made for yourself? And that is probably whenever you don't make a decision for yourself and it doesn't work out, you can blame other people, and that's probably the worst part, is that you can't blame yourself. So I feel sorry for the kid, man.
Everybody's saying that, well, kids with the NIL, they go to college to learn. Guess what? You got learned.
Yeah, man.
You don't know where the lessons are going to come, but you're going to learn something.
And it's like also NIL, if you don't have the right support system, NIL can have the wrong types of people in your ear. And
Yes.
it could be more detrimental than it is helpful.
See that, people keep glossing over it, but those types of things were there for certain players in the past. If you're a recruit like at Kansas or Arizona or LSU even, at Duke, obviously, North Carolina, Baylor.
Obviously.
I mean, everybody knows who was paying.
Yeah.
Those are the ones with the biggest contracts from Nike and Adidas. Check the FBI files; they're there. Those guys were going through the exact same shit that everybody's going through now. But now everybody has the chance to do it. I think the lesser players are more susceptible to it because they never had this kind of attention before.
Towns, keep on, man. I mean, I don't know if you're done, but
no, I mean, because they really have never had this. These guys are getting recruited. They're not. I don't want to say lesser players. They're just not the highly ranked. The AAU, the guys who have been dominating the circuit, been the hottest names out there. Those guys are getting talked. People are talking money. People are. Back in the day, they were offering them parents better jobs or new house financed through, Bubba Joe at the bank, the local bank.
Mm-hmm.
Now, big time players are getting just cash offers, and guys who might be a step down from that are getting cash offers. They're like, "Holy shit, man! $50,000, $100,000? That's real money."
Yeah.
And so the thing is that those guys aren't used to that kind of attention. And all of a sudden, they start messing with their head. And then they go one place. They'll go one place and get $50K. They don't play as much as they want. And so they're listening for other offers. It's like, okay, somebody's going to, how about 70? Okay, I'll go there. Because they told me I was going to play too. And then you get to play. And then another one comes along. It's like 120, 130. So every year they're just going to flip it.
Yeah. And that's why I think like with Los, like I said, that his NIL package wasn't the shiniest penny. And it's just if you're that guy, and if you think that if you believe you're an NBA player, NIL probably won't move you to the degree that it would for someone who knows that they may not have a chance. You know, so like what Los is, you essentially took a pay cut to get a raise. Like now your ceiling's higher. Now you may be potentially on draft. You might get there's a good possible you might get drafted, and that money is going to last a lot longer than NBA money is going to last a lot longer than NIL money.
Yeah.
So it's essentially shit. What do you think of yourself at the end of the day?
And you've got to put, from a business perspective, you've got to put yourself in position to do two things. One, get an organization that has to invest in you, because if they invest in you, they're less likely to get rid of you.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do, it's usually for pieces for somebody else. And so you're going to get passed around like Q did. You know, he got traded 3 times already, and the reason why is because he's a quality player and he's inexpensive, so they can move salary around.
Mm.
And now that he's at a spot and he's getting to play, you see the kid going off.
Yeah.
So you want them to invest into you, and then you want to, in college, you want to position yourself to where you've improved enough so that you can get in and make a name and then get that second contract. The second contract is where the money's coming in. And then the third contract is the big, that's the big $50,000 or $50 million deal.
50.
But that second, you want to get outside. You want to get to your second contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that opportunity to earn more, to make, it's funny to say you want to make real money as opposed to, just the paltry $3 million, $3.5 million you're going to get for being a lottery pick.
Speaking of those people, today, Kingston Flemings was named Gatorade Player of the Year in Texas. Today, Isaiah Harwell was named Gatorade Player of the Year in Utah.
Nice.
It's not a bad day for the good guys.
The good guy, the good fellas.
Yeah. NCAA win, and then 2 of your guys are Player of the Year in their states. You've got 2 guys in Utah, so you can't have 3, but Cole Pete's in Arizona. Maybe that could happen, but I don't know. I think he'll be making a decision in the next week or 2.
Why do we keep talking about Cole Pete?
Literally.
I know y'all hate it, but it's a reality. He's a person out there, and he could be a member of this program soon. He might not be, and that's okay. I don't care. You got a pretty good situation here.
As long as you keep that name alive, then we're going to have questions. Hey, what's Cole Pete doing? I don't fucking know.
Well, no, it's been okay. I get these comments and these messages all the time. We talk about it very little compared to how often it's asked.
Mm.
Oh, I know.
And we've talked about it the right amount. Could you be 3 for 3 with CNAC in Louisiana? That's possible. I don't know, to be honest. But there you go. I guess we have talked enough. Mike Neese is up 10 with 2 minutes to play, 2.5 minutes to play.
They're teetering.
Yeah.
I like this guy.
This
I like
is
this guy
a
number
moment.
11, man. That chin strap haircut.
He went to Syracuse last year. But,
That
yeah.
number 4 for Clemson, it looks like he just stepped off the set of Superbad.
Yeah. He looks like a guy who's growing up and wanting to be you. Is what that dude looks like.
Literally, he looks like Jonah Hill from Superbad.
Okay, I see 11 now. I didn't notice this. Okay, I've never seen.
He needs to cut that.
I've never seen it where it just goes underneath the chin like that. That's
expeditiously. That's,
I might show up at that Saturday.
That shit is ass. Unbelievable.
It's like he's got to keep his hair on with that
He has
thing.
a beard going under his chin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Down here to the neck.
My boy looking 40. Like he got a couple of cheering. Man. Oh yeah. Now Clemson playing. This kid has played against Clemson. He's a point guard of this team. That's crazy.
Did I miss anything on what you all think of Gonzaga? We actually broke this down for 30 minutes. Go back and watch. We went position by position, and they're good. They're really good, especially for their seed. Uh-oh.
Huh.
Uh-oh.
What happened? Oh,
Down
it's
to 8.
down to 8. Oh shit. Oh shit. It's getting
Language. BYU's up 15. Gonzaga's up 21 shortly before the half.
I mean, has there even been a remotely decent game today?
Well, not today.
I mean, as far as,
last night, you had a nice one.
Yeah.
But not today. I mean, nobody's.
I mean, honestly, I would love for us to boat race everybody by 20 plus.
I think the probably the best game of the day, it might come on at 8:25, and that's Utah State and UCLA. I
Maybe.
think that's going to be a good one.
And you're off. You're off for a couple of days. You get to just watch games.
I think we play Saturday though.
Here's another thing. A&M and Yale. That's a 2-point spread, which is crazy.
Funny thing is, it's going to be a.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 7.
blowout.
I'm sorry. I messed that up. It's 7.
It's going to be a blowout. Either in
You think
A&M's
Yale's
favor-
going to win that bad?
You just never know with A&M.
Yeah.
They're-
I mean, they could boat race you.
They're a team they play hard enough, and if they get hot enough, they can be a Sweet 16 type team, maybe even beyond that.
Elite 8? Yeah.
Yeah, like they got that type of talent, but it's just like the flip side is
Wade Taylor, bad blood sugar.
Well, I mean, they're in a
Hungry?
similar situation they're in a similar situation to Arizona, where if love is going off, they're going to be tough. If Wade Taylor's going off, they're going to be tough. Any of those guys have a mediocre night, they're done.
I feel like Arizona has a lot more guys. They have more guys they depend on than Caleb. Whereas Wade Taylor, he is the offensive output.
Yeah.
Like,
I trust Arizona more than I trust.
Yeah. They're less volatile, I would say.
Wade Taylor reminds me of Vinnie Johnson from back in the day, the old Detroit bad boy Vinnie Johnson era.
That's a going back a ways. But yeah. Okay.
I mean, just a dude who just not going to be the most athletic person on the court, but could flat out score and can score in bunches.
The mindset to score.
That's the thing with him and Caleb Love both. They can just pile on the points in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it takes a special type of mentality to be able to have the mentality and the style of play that those guys have.
Yeah,
like,
they're the type that can.
I'm 1 for 10 and I'm open. This bitch is going up.
And they're talking shit the whole time and they don't stop.
They don't stop.
I don't have any problem with that.
It's like
Talking
shit,
mess.
You go 0 for 10 and they hit 7 in a row. It's like, what the fuck just happened?
You know, when you hit that 11th and you do the throat slash, things are looking up. Clemson called timeout if they cut that to 8, and McNeese came out with a great play coming out of that timeout. Minute and a half, minute 37 left. Georgia and Gonzaga at half. That That game's a 21-point game, and it feels like Gonzaga's completely let it go. 48 in the first half. They shot 59%. I guess that's okay. 8 of 11 on three-pointers. They have a better three-point shooting percentage than free throw shooting percentage.
That's crazy. We have a very interesting comment in this.
What's that?
I think it's the latest one to be starred.
Super glad to see Cordell Jefferson get run today with Kingston coming in. Any chance he follows Qantas to ULL? I wouldn't. I don't know how to even talk about it because we don't know. We don't know what things are there. I don't see it just because I see how bought in he is here. But you're bought in until the minute you leave, I guess. Do you have a comment on that, Galen?
That's just an interesting comment that I didn't think about until I saw it.
Okay.
And that I'd say if it was to happen, that makes a lot of sense. But, who knows? I'm not on the inside, but that's just very interesting. It's like I said, it's like
you mean you see it from a player's perspective.
Yeah. You said here from a player's perspective?
No, you see it. You see it from a player's perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to be in the room. You know exactly what that looks like.
That's been a guy that Q has been developing, pouring into for 2 years. Going down a level. You never know.
Back up to 12 for McNeese. They're going to do this.
But you can bet right now, as much as every player loves to see these new guys come in, they're going to shake their hands. Hey, man, come on, welcome to the club. I'm about to whoop your ass the next 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't taking my job. That's mine. I mean, that's just the way it is.
But Q is.
I mean, I'll say this.
Surprised.
When
I think so.
When I came to U of H, I was originally playing first base, and there was a returning guy, Carlos Perez, who played first base as well. As soon as I got there, gave me a big hug. He said, "Man, we're going to get to know each other over there, but it's my position. You have to beat me to take it." And we ended up being best friends. We were roommates for 4 years.
That's tough.
But I mean, that's just you come here to compete against the best. You come here for that challenge. And as much as you want to take that guy's position, they're your teammates and you're still friends.
Yeah. And also
you try to make each other better.
But also, like, at least with basketball is that same competition, but that's going to help you after you leave here because all of our guys have aspirations of playing professionally. And it's just like that competition is going to allow me to not have any type of slippage or slack because I know the moment I do that, I can be replaced. And it's just like having that constant, like, oh yeah, if I fuck up, this guy's right here. That keeps you on your toes, and that's going to help you become a better professional.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's just the nature of it, man. You ain't giving it. Nobody's giving you a job anywhere, and it's the coach's job. It's the general manager's job to try to replace you every single year you exist on a roster.
Yeah.
So McNeese has never won a tournament game. They were Division II. They never won a tournament game there. They did win some NAIA in the 50s, and they won an NIT game 40 years ago. This is their first tournament win of any kind in 40 years.
Uh-oh.
I ain't believing that. That didn't happen.
That's it. Oh!
There you go. we in a
God.
are we in a movie theater?
Uh-oh. This is about to get interesting. Wow.
Yeah. Don't screw this up, McNeese. We don't have a lot in Lake Charles.
Man, he just backwards flushed that joint. Let me get you. Bum! Ooh! I want to stay on until this game is over.
Let's
that's
do it.
what we definitely are.
Yeah, we should start final thoughts now because we.
I think it's crazy how.
Whoa.
That McNeese band girl was odd.
Towns, you want our number? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
that terrified
okay.
me.
Okay. Because I don't know.
But it's crazy how, like, y'all said that Clemson, when the coach, when he got his extension, he was chilling. And Will Wade gets a high major job in that conference. And I guess bro's giving him a taste of what he has to look forward to. That's crazy.
It would be funny if Will Wade ended up at South Carolina, and then he ends up cock blocking this guy for recruits for the next
South Carolina.
Hmm?
North Carolina State.
Or North Carolina State.
Yeah. Close.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Same region.
He must have gotten told that UT is not an opportunity for him because
You know what? We were talking about this earlier in the weight room. A guy like Shaka Smart, great before he goes to UT.
Yeah.
Gets to UT.
Yeah.
Inspired from UT.
Yep.
And it's great after he leaves UT.
Yep.
What is the common denominator?
Well, it's even you can go back to Rick Barnes. I mean, Rick Barnes had a really good run at UT, but then kind of flattened out and then goes to Tennessee and he's back to being himself again.
And it's like, what is the common denominator?
It's the UT. It's the UT people. It's
All right.
The job
it's the
is that desirable because that check is going to be sufficient.
damn. It's
Oh.
we've seen this before.
Yeah. I think Galen did this before. Kentucky.
Got to hit one.
No, it wasn't this.
Well, no, it was not this. You're right. But it was bad.
Saying bad is kind of crazy. That's
Well,
kinda crazy.
It's not great at the
Considering
moment.
that we were down and came back.
Yeah, we got. I think that isn't that a banned word? You're not allowed to say that P word.
That could go a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'm curious how this is going to go.
Let's stop it.
Pokes.
Oh man, 10 seconds left.
Woo.
2-possession game. Second free throw. Down 4 with the chance to be down 5. I mean, up 4 with a chance to be up 5.
That was kind of clanky.
Uh-oh. Damn. Yep.
You're good.
Pack
There
your
we go.
bags because you are going home. Damn. McNeese did it.
Thank God I don't have to watch and look at that ugly ass team of Clemson. And it looks like a bunch of circus freaks.
That's tough. Will Wade is like, guys, have some decorum.
God damn it.
I'm going to have to see these guys again. I think I picked this upset, though. That's crazy.
Will Wade is texting NC State. Hey, guys, LOL, can't start tomorrow. Talk to you on Sunday.
Get more NIL money.
Damn, man. That is a tough way to.
All right, but going back to the whole. Going back to the whole.
Let's stay on the McNeese band girl. Is she 20 or is she 40? It could go either way.
Maybe
go back to UT.
They're trying to. Put
the UT job.
It
The
doesn't matter.
problem is that it's no amount of success is good enough that doesn't end in raising a trophy at the end of the season. They could be Sweet 16 for 2 straight years, 3 straight years, and if they don't make the next step, they want the guy fired.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got 100 different boosters that are in guys' ear every single day that try to run the program the way they want to run. They want the coach to do it their way. And, coach, that doesn't happen.
Texas would fire Tom Izzo.
They would have fired him a long time ago.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
They could win the national title, have a show going on like this, and people despairing about the next year. Like, what are we going to do? Hopefully we don't see that here if things like that were to occur.
Ironically enough, though, I felt like Chris Beard was a great fit there. I really did think he was a great fit. Obviously.
He was a good fit because he has the
gravitas.
I wouldn't even say that. I just think that he has the mentality that he will fight you and tell you to shut the fuck up.
Well, he did prove that he will fight you.
Yeah. Sponsored by Hawaiian Punch and Monster Energy.
He said Hawaiian Punch. Charles, you were sick. You are sick.
That is Brad.Towns at G. Yeah.
And Monster Energy.
Man, yeah.
But no, he's the type of guy, just very much like Kelvin, is that he'll tell you exactly where to go.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's also one of those guys that you put him in any program and give him a year, they will have success.
Yeah. That's a guy who that second year, you're getting something really good.
Yeah. For sure. This is happening for sure. Yeah.
I'm about sick and tired of this fucking student manager.
Man, that's good for him, man.
Good for him. Absolutely great for him. He got him a Buffalo Wild Wings NIL deal, I think.
He got a couple of them.
Good for him. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
That'll take you a long way, Mike
Charles.
Charles.
Take him to North Carolina State. Just never know.
Take our guys. Nah. Beard is a UT guy. He went there.
Show. I'm just glad Clemson's gone. I can't stand them. I would.
Why?
I can't stand their coach. I can't stand that little.
Why? Oh, because he's a whiner? It happens.
I said, bitch.
Damn. They just pulled that off. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
And the funny thing is, I think most people had that one marked as if there's a 12-5, it's that one.
Yeah. Being a victim of March Madness. It has to suck.
But they got to do it. They nearly choked that thing off.
Accurate.
Of course, you couldn't call it a choke because McNeese is the lower seed, and they'll just say Clemson's just look how gritty they are. Look at that. Look at those guys. Bunch of gym rats out there. Oh, good Lord. The Georgia kid is about to pass out. The Georgia band kid's about to pass out.
He can't believe what he's seen. Damn.
It's funny, VCU is acting like they want to try to challenge, but they just can't string a couple of possessions together.
Well,
I mean, if you let Igor go off on you, then you're just terrible. Because he's willing to give you 7 or 8 turnovers a game. You just got to take it.
You don't have another game starting for an hour. That's brutal. And then 4 in 35 minutes, 45 minutes.
Igor Dinic.
Yeah, these are the Thursday and Friday of the tournament. Probably the best days of sports in the entire year.
Yeah, a lot of unexpected shit
It was
happened.
just wall to wall, man. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Constant. Yeah. Shit, even the first four with Alabama, like the one with Alabama State and shit, what was the other school? St. Francis.
St. Francis.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
that ended was crazy. Like that was
And that was a football evening.
that personified March basketball. Like that was pretty cool, man.
Like, how did that hit like every player on the court before that dude caught it?
It would be really fun to beat
Coach is like-
McNeese.
The coach probably
ahead.
told himself like, yeah, that's just how I drew that shit up. Yeah, we got it.
Exactly the look we
Perfectly
wanted.
executed.
It would be really fun to beat McNeese in the Sweet 16. I mean, that'd be a whole week of talk right down I-10. The best program in Louisiana, best program in Texas. Purdue loves to lose to double-digit seeds. They
do.
They did not look great for a good portion of that game today, which is a shame.
I feel like a lot of times Big Ten teams, they're built to compete against other Big Ten teams. So you recruit these 7 foot plus big men and
White guys.
Yeah. But even there was one tournament we played Illinois, and they had the big African kid, Kofi Coburn, and it's just like we were a bad match for him because we were able to just our mobility, and it's just all it takes whenever you're a team like Purdue, who usually has the biggest center. All you need is a team that has that runs, and they can be the end of your March Madness. They can be over for you. Let alone a big who's able to shoot it. Oh, you got to bring that big 7-footer out of the paint. Whereas in the Big Ten, you can leave them in there because they all similar. Like every big team, they all have these big donkeys. Like that's what Coach Sam called big donkeys. Just big ass big men, just logging up the paint, can't move, but they're good. But
Like Hunter Dickinson.
Donkeys.
Yeah, literally like Hunter Dickinson. It's you just big as hell in the paint, but you can't get up and down the court.
And even more important, they don't move laterally that well. They're just not quick. I mean, let's just call it what it is. They're not athletic.
Yeah, if you can't run up and down, I know you ain't moving side to side. Shit. That's a given.
All right, let's wrap this one up. See what we got. Big Ten is soft. Playing game was awesome.
Xavier was awesome.
Yeah. They were down. What were they down? Like 14, 15? And there was never a point where I thought they're not going to win this game. Texas is going to lose. And sure enough, they came back and took a lead and made it happen.
The thing that was funny to watch on that is that as the lead started evaporating more and more, and then they started trading leads back and forth, the amount of hero ball that Trey Johnson and all of them started. I mean, even what's his name? Chindle.
That's a weird haircut.
Yeah, it's just a weird looking dude all around. But I mean, all of them, they was just like, okay, they're going to stand around and then dribble, and then stand around and dribble, and then shoot some crazy ass fadeaway 28-footer.
That's just cool in the summer. That shit don't win you games, though.
It's like, come on, man, I got to get mine. I got to get to the league.
Yeah, that's just. Wasn't Texas a sub 500 conference team?
6-12.
Yeah.
OU was the same.
Terrible.
That's a shame. But go ahead, Brad. Tell us about what you thought about your day.
Loved it. Did exactly what a top team contender is supposed to do. I love seeing the young guys get some reps and get some actual meaningful playing time. And by way of that, it's great to see our guys got to rest and get their legs underneath them. And we're going to need it. We're going to need everything you got on Saturday. You know, the goal is to just keep advancing.
Galen?
Same thing. I thought you came out with the mindset that you needed to have your first game in the tournament. The team that was a better team won. The team that was a tougher team won, but you had to establish that early on so the team you were going against would have no hope. But it is going to be a very, very different story in the second round game because the team that we're playing, they have such a winning pedigree, a coach who's won, a coach who's been to the final game in the championship game in our recent memory. So, but it's going to be a very interesting game. So I'm glad our guys were able to rest. Our starters were able to rest. And I'm sure that our coaches right now, they're watching film. They're watching the game that's being played right now, actually. But I'm sure our coaches are locked in on and creating a game plan for us to, go out and execute. So,
You think Kellen has a scout?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think that's who is on top of this one.
You and Kellen probably like Q's scout was probably.
I think Hugh has Georgia, is what I would guess, and Kellen has Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I got work tomorrow. Might get Star Pizza afterwards. That's what I'm talking about.
Boom.
Just some Star Pizza. I keep forgetting a little bit that it's Thursday.
Yeah.
But it's Thursday, so you got another work day. So you got buffet for lunch, you got happy hour specials later in the day, and then you can pick pizza up or have it delivered tomorrow night. Star Pizza. Get you some. We don't see this enough. Great point, Ryan. Gets no respect. Poor Ryan. Galen, how hard is it to play with someone like Trey Johnson at UT, who is talented but has the ball too much and takes bad shots? Well, Galen played with Rob Gray, so he knows.
But
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I say with with Trey Johnson, it's you're around guys. The bad part about that is you're around guys that think they can do what you can do.
Okay.
So it's like whenever he's doing it and he may not have success, it probably contaminates the entire team because there's a team full of guys who think they can do what Trey Johnson does. Whereas like on our team, when Rob Gray was doing it, it's like, shit, I'd rather you than me. I don't want to do that shit. So
Everybody in the backpack.
Yeah. So that playing that style of basketball with that team and that at that school is probably exhausting, and that their conference record reflects that. There are a lot of teams who have a lottery pick or a guy who's going to be a first round pick, and their teams are having way more success. It's just whenever you're doing it around the ball, even the kid at Rutgers, and they got 2 lottery picks, and they have like a losing record or something like that. So it's like it's hard to overcome guys who take volume shots let alone when they might be lacking on the defensive end. So, and you have to go down and play your heart out on defense. So, but yeah, it's long story short, it's a pain in the ass for sure.
Anytime when the game will be announced, game time will be announced for Saturday. Well, you got to see all the games today so they can then pinpoint who they want to put in what TV windows. I would not be surprised if you're in an evening TV window for Saturday as a 1 seed. That makes the most sense. But we'll see. Auburn's going to be in that same window. I think they'll be playing a game around that same time. I mean, they played games against each other today. So I think that's what'll happen. Gonzaga can't do this twice in a week. Law of big numbers. Well, maybe, but twice isn't that big a deal. Yeah, I was very impressed with Milos today. This was his first NCAA tournament game.
Damn.
And he missed a shot, which was unbelievable. And went 6 or 7. And then JVR.
Hey, damn it.
Dock his pay. That's right. NIL. But JVR had a great game. LJ had the quietest 15 points you'll ever see.
It was early.
I mean, he just did.
Well, that's the crazy thing about LJ all year is that he just quietly goes and gets his shot and just constantly makes it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you look up, he's got 18, 19 points.
Like, oh, look at that.
Allegedly.
So thank you all so much for watching with us. We appreciate it. We had a lot of fun. We'll do this again Saturday at some point. Galen may or may not be with us, depending on if it's a night game or what, but we'll figure that out. Maybe find a replacement and try to get internet that works in the arena so that maybe we can talk with some of the guys. We did get 4 or 5 good seconds with Jawan, and that was nice. He complained about not being able to eat because we interrupted him right after the game.
Need some
So
rebounds,
apologize, Jawan. Yeah, get you some rebounds. Get your head in the game. Star Pizza, thanks so much. One Substantial, y'all don't have anything going right now, correct?
No, I'm currently in the process of shipping, so not right now. But subscribe, join our family, so when we do drop, you get access.
Awesome. Cougfans.com, GoCoogs.com. We'll see y'all all Saturday. Thank you so much.
Subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell. Get
That's on
notifications.
YouTube, by the way. YouTube.com @GoCoogs.
How'd that go again?
Roy.
Thank you.